Good morning, everyone. Happy to be back. I hope you will enjoy this session. Today, I'm going to explain the math book that we are going to use. The book that we are going to use is New Max Time. The publisher is Orient Black Swan. The topics that we are going to see is on the slide. Our session usually starts with a starter activity. Today's starter activity is a value based learning on a short story on love and time. Now, let's see the video.
Love and time. Once upon a time, there was an island where all the feelings lived: happiness, vanity, sadness, knowledge, and love. One day, it was announced to the feelings that the island would sink. So, everyone constructed boats and left, except for love. Love was the only one who stayed. Love wanted to hold out until the last possible moment. When the island had almost sunk, Love decided to ask for help. Richness was passing by in a grand boat. Love said, "Richness, can you take me with you?" Richness said, "No, I can't. There is a lot of gold and silver in my boat. There is no place for you." Love decided to ask Vanity, who was also passing by in a beautiful vessel. "Vanity, please help me." "I can't help you, love. You are all wet and might damage my boat," Vanity answered. Sadness also passed by. So Love asked, "Sadness, please let me go with you." "Oh, Love, I am so sad that I need to be myself. I can't take you." Happiness also passed by. But she was so happy that she did not even hear when Love called her. Suddenly, there was a voice. "Come, Love, I will take you." It was an elder. So blessed and overjoyed, Love even forgot to ask the elder where they were going. When they arrived at dry land, the elder went his own way. Realizing how much she owed to the elder, Love asked Knowledge, another elder, "Who helped me?" Knowledge answered, "It was time." "Time? But why did time help me?" Knowledge smiled with deep wisdom and answered, "Because only time is capable of understanding how valuable love is." Moral: time heals everything. Time is very valuable.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the story. Let's get into our maths class. Today, we are going to start with the chapter Integers. What is an integer? Integer is a whole number which has positive and negative infinity set of integers. These are the topics that we are going to see in integers. These are the vocabulary words. Now let's see a small video on introduction of integers.
We have seen what natural and whole numbers are. The whole numbers comprise of the entire set of natural numbers and zero. So what are integers then? Let's zoom in a bit. Along with whole numbers, the set of integers also includes negative numbers like -1, -2, -3 and so on. We have numbers like 1, 2, 3, and so on so that we can count. We also know why we have a 0. Now the question, why negative numbers? The most basic example would be temperature. The temperature can go below 0 degrees and the temperature below 0 degree is negative, like minus 10 degrees. Let us see a different example. Suppose you gave your friend 100 rupees and that friend returned just 50 rupees. What is the net amount you have now? The net amount you have is minus 50 rupees. We know there is no note available in the market which amounts to minus 50 rupees. But a negative sign tells us that you are in a loss. Coming back to integers, all these numbers are integers. We zoom out slightly to understand another interesting concept. The numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on are called positive integers, and numbers minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on are called negative integers. We can also define natural numbers as positive integers. Then what about 0? Well, it's neither positive nor negative. Now look at all three of them together. It tells us that all natural numbers and whole numbers are integers. The set of integers would look something like this, and the set of integers are represented by the letter Z. Now we know what integers are and why they are used.
I hope you got some ideas on integers. Now let's get into a detailed session of integers, how positive and negative numbers are being written on a number line. Introduction. Integers. Integers are all counting numbers. The number 0 and all counting numbers as their negative opposite counting numbers are literally the numbers that you learn to count with. So when you are a little kid, maybe your mom or somebody is teaching how to count and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, those are the counting numbers. The number 0 is not typically a counting number, aren't taught to count with 0. People aren't taught with only 1, 2, 3, so on. So integers are accounting numbers with number 0 along with negative numbers in front of. These numbers are opposite, so I am calling it as negative opposite. Here, so counting numbers on my number line that I have here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then remember also the integers are 0 and then all those numbers 1, 2, 3, 7, etc. and then negative form are also integers. So negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you are looking at a number line, you need to remember no matter how the numbers look, all the numbers to the right number line are gradually larger and larger numbers to the left of the number line are getting smaller and smaller. So just like 6 less than 7, 5 is also less than 7, 4 is also less than 7. Negative 2 down here is also less than 7. Negative 3 is less than 7. Negative 4 is less than 7 and so on. That means negative 4 is also less than negative 3 because it is on the left side of the number line. I said all the numbers on the left are lower than any number to the right of it. So this negative 6 is less than this negative 5. Even though that seems reverse than what you are using to thinking 5 would less than 6. But in case because the number is negative, the numbers work, in reverse. You think of this really like saying you have less than 0. It's like this is owing money to a friend. So if I have $0, I would be at the O that a friend of rupee 1. I would negative rupee 1. That means I went to work, I earned 1 rupee. When I first get to that now, I need to pay my friend back. So it's like I have less money than 0 because I borrowed money from someone. So the further in this direction, the further left you go is more you have, that is less than 0. Let me move into some examples so we make a sure understanding of it. Numbers are larger, which numbers are smaller than each other when we are dealing with integers. For the first type of example, we are going to circle the integer with the large value so far. 56 and 59. These are pretty easy. They are still integers because remember we have learned integers are counting number. So this one's easier because we don't have negative numbers to deal with. So if I'm going to circle the larger number, the larger value is nothing but 59. So it's pretty simple. But what would you want if you have a negative number? We have 8 and we have negative 8. If you remember just like that I have explained in the last slide, negative numbers are less than 0. So, although they are the same appearance, generally, except for the negative sign, the positive 8 is definitely the greater number. So, encircle the positive 8. The next is 12 and 0. You might seem a little tricky. You might think, oh, that's 12 is actually 0 means nothing. So 12 is larger. And no, actually 0 is larger because there is a negative number. So negative 12 is less than 0. You have nothing. Negative 12 means you are in the hole. You actually owe somebody. So as soon as you get some money, it's going to go away from you because you need to pay someone else to give the money, as it was said in the previous example. Integers. Number 2 says order these integers from least to greater. Okay, in order to do that, I'm going to show the last slide. If I think about the number line, I'll remember that all of the numbers in relationship to my 0 that we are positive or did not slide. So I'm going to start with 0 arm. Write it down so that it will be easy for you. So first write with 0, comma. Now I'm not going to deal with negative numbers. I'm going to hold off and I'm going to deal with the other numbers. I've already used 0, so I'm going to cross it off. I'm going to only deal with 5 and 2. In order to do from least to greatest, it's easy. The first one, 2 of them, then 5. Then I know then comes 0 because given the number line I have shown in the first slide. The positive numbers or the regular continued numbers that you are used to dealing with is very easy. We are right on the same way. Now here 1 a comma, my 2 comma 5 comma. The next out of these I have already used them and now I have just my negative 2. Remember all of our number lines. So the left side of it. So negative integer is always on the left side. So the order is minus 2. So least to the greatest. Therefore negative 2 and then the negative. So now go to the next example. So 15, 20, negative 15, 0, minus 17. I'm going to deal with 0. So start with 0. So then comes the positive numbers. So positive numbers just simplifies for it. It's pretty easy that I know 15 and then 20. Then going for the negative numbers. So minus 15 is less than minus 17. Now I'm going to write the negative numbers. So 0 stands first, then my positive numbers, then my negative numbers to the left of it. So minus 15 comes first. Remember the number line that we drew it, and then minus 17. The next sum is of same time. Children, can you please try it out? I hope you have completed. Now check with the answer. Next problem, we are going to graph the integer and its opposite on a number line. So, an opposite is just like what we have mentioned in the beginning of the number line. That is nothing but the mirrors across the zero. So, the opposite of positive would be a negative 1. So, opposite of 3 is negative 3. I'm going to just put a comma and write minus 3. Now I'm going to draw the number line. I'm going to put the arrows because remember the number line never ends. I'm going to put my 0 at the center and the base is going to be the starting place. I'm going to draw the notches for my 3 and first positive 3 and then for the negative 3. Now I have graphed it and I'm going to place the dots in order to position it. So I have graphed the number 3 on a negative 3 on the number line. So next example is negative 4. So similarly for the negative 4 it is positive 4. So comma plus 4. Now I'm going to plot it in the number line. So 0, then comes the notches 4, negative 4 and then positive 4. Negative 4 on my left side and positive 4 on my right side. So I'm going to keep the dots. So next comes the next problem, 21. So children, can you do it by yourself as a practice? I hope you have completed. Now here is your answer. Here, while drawing the number line, I cannot write 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. So, I'm going to divide the notches based on 5 tables. So, you can go for skip countings of 2, 3, 4, 5 depending upon the sum. Next, let us move on to the absolute value. How to find the absolute value of the integers? The first example says 51. 15. The absolute value of 15 just means the distance away from 0. So if I were to think on the number line, I would know that is from my 0 would be first and then 15 down somewhere literally away with 15 notches. So count 1, 2, 3 as it is as long you are to 15. So it's leave some space in order to write the counting numbers. Now the absolute value of 15 is nothing but positive 15. Similarly, for the next one is minus 6. So the negative value of minus 6 is plotted in the number line 0, 1, minus 1, minus 2, 6 notches and then minus 6. So now the positive value, that is the absolute value of minus 6 is nothing but its positive value, which is plus 6. So the positive value for the absolute value for positive 15 is plus 15 and the same absolute value for negative number will become a positive number. So this is how we will find the absolute value. So the next sum, children, can you do it yourself? So here you have 81. So the absolute value is positive 81. So that's the answer. That's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the session.